Welcome to the Pythagorical channel. My artist name is also Pythagorical, or it could also be Anarchilogos, but that's another topic altogether. And today I'm going to get into some rough speculations on what I think about music theory and Pythagoreanism and Plato's cave, and trying to get to the explaining some parallels between all these things. And before I get to this part, I'll just read this Wikipedia article, at least this first sentence, on harmonic series. A harmonic series, also overtone series, is a sequence of harmonics, musical tones or pure tones whose frequency is an integer or a fundamental frequency. And why am I talking about harmonic series? Well, let's get to this page. And one, the fundamental harmonic would be treated, at least in this image that I not image, but this visual representation or formatting, or I don't know, I just arbitrarily picked the first 1 hertz. There you go, 1 hertz as the tonic or the fundamental frequency, and then all the other notes here are an integer multiple of that tonic. So the second C, as I notate with the mark on there. I'm not good at music stuff, by the way. I'm not typically a musical theory guy, but bear with me, since I'm gonna get into why I think it's important. But for now, let's stay focused and notice that all the doubling is always gonna be C. So this would be 1 hertz, this would be 2 hertz, and this would be 3 hertz as a fifth interval if it was in a 12 tone equal temperament, but it'll be in a note of G. And next you go back to the fourth harmonic as the third C or the second tonic octave, and so on and so forth. But if you haven't seen the image of medieval depictions of Pythagoras with the 4 bells with labels of 6, 8, 9, 12. Oh wait, there's also a fifth one as the 16. So there's like these 5 bells that has those numbers, and I'm basically suggesting that one of the major images that is being brought up in various Pythagorean Pythagorean exegesis in a visual manner has these more visual representations of the tones and intervals of certain proportions to each other. And anyways, the second G, or the octave of the first G, will be the 6 hertz, and excuse me. Basically, I am trying to show that this note here has to be G, which means this will be G, and this will be C, and this will be D. And the problem with this is that it's really not the same as the Pythagorean intonation system, and it's more towards the 5-limit intonation, 5-limit just intonation. And you could read more about that in these books, but you could also read it in Stephanie McPeak-Peterson's The Next Octave book, which she gets into some of these aspects, but not quite, because she's not really a Neoplatonist. She's more of a critic of Platonism, actually, at least the political theory of it, which I'm somewhat agree with her, that Plato really screwed things up in some ways, or at least his ancestor, to be more specific, Solon. But going back on topic, my general problem, so to speak, is that these interval ratios and such, they don't really quite fit with Plato's divided line and cave. And I have tried to reconcile that with this page here, and having the greater, which will be this, represented with from here to here, equal with this, and 1 with this, and matter or lesser with this, which G will be in the middle, which is in various Hermetic traditions of trying to exegete Platonism and Neoplatonism, and of course Pythagoreanism and Neo-Pythagoreanism, which culminated into Neoplatonism. This, using the harmonic series, for it to have the 7 notes with the octave, it would look like this if it was within the harmonic series. And I only started to have, this is like backwards actually, but in relation to this harmonic series graph, it's backwards. But moving on, this will be 1, 2, 2, 3, right? And they're technically Fibonacci numbers, if you didn't notice. So 1 is to 2, as 2 is to 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, and 1 plus 2 is 3, and 2 plus 2 is 4, which there's a 3, 4, 5 aspect here, which I didn't even try to find that. It just naturally came out of the paradigm. And of course, I haven't gotten into the 12 tone scale and such, but regardless, going back to this, you could see how these notes are using different kind of labeling. I should say then this, and Stephanie McPherson tried to use WXYZ to fill out what wasn't really properly expanded upon, and of course it doesn't match one-to-one with my image here, but that's fine because I was using this before I came across this, so I don't use anything above here. So 13 will be G. So this can be switched to G sharp. This is correct. This is correct. And this could be changed to B flat. Well, anyways, moving on. This part here is about King Weider's exegesis of the Fibonacci sequence as do do re mi so do. Sorry, I'm like monotone speaker. I'm not a regular singer, even though I could sing. I need lots of warm up. Well, do do re mi so. Oh, that's really bad. Well, C being done twice, just as the 1 1 2 3 5 sequence of the Fibonacci's generation of Fibonacci numbers, and they'll correspond to C, D, E, G, and C, which doesn't quite match with the Plato's dividing line and all that, but it's technically still a part of the harmonic series as an integer multiple of the fundamental frequency. And getting into the metaphysical part, I have conveyed matter over here as 1 / or over phi, which could be denoted differently as phi to the power -1, but ignoring that, in this system, the lesser will be also the tone of the Pythagorean tuning, the harmonic Pythagorean tuning of the Pythagorean semitone, I think. I forget. I could just look it up in my own book. Is it 3? No. 4? Yeah, 4. Pythagorean whole step, my bad. So this will be a Pythagorean whole step right here. Also the tone. And I treated this as 1 or 5 to the power 0 in here, but it doesn't correspond directly with the my pentagram page that is taking a while to load. So this would become shifted by a power of phi, which if we were to treat the lesser as 1, then this will be phi, and this will also be phi, and this will be 5 to the power of 2, or 5 times phi, which is the same thing as 5 to the power 2. And the powers of whatever, I've conveyed it in this part. You could see much better if I just zoom in and just scroll this bar. And getting to the more metaphysical part, I should say, I mean even more metaphysical, as in non-dualism. The silence here is prior to any fundamental frequency, or as a unit, as in the silence here will be the apparatus. This could be the units, or the fundamental of all the other overtone series of the harmonic series of the fundamental frequency, as I keep forgetting, it's the integer multiple of the fundamental frequency. And this, the second octave, the first octave of the fundamental will be the ahoristos or auristos. So I am treating sunaidema, or aggregate, as the unit frequency, but in reality there's no representation of a magnitude prior to a magnitude, and because it is prior to magnitude, and there's no zeroth magnitude. 0 doesn't really exist as a magnitude of anything, and any coordinate representation of magnitude will be misleading. It's only a placeholder of an abstraction of magnitude. So there's 0 doesn't actually exist, and anyone who says otherwise are worshipping nothing, which is hilarious to say out loud, but I do not worship nothing, do you? But many Platonists do worship nothing, which I am not one of those fools that are worshipping the false silence of fools, which nothing comes from nothing. Uden ex udenos. And this part says fuge mono pros monon. Fuge mono pros monon, which the flight of the one to the one, or the flight of the lone to the lone, or the flight of the one to the self one, or there's lots of different translations, or the self union or whatever. So the one to itself does exist, but again, this is merely a parallel found in music theory, conveyed through geometric representations of celestial harmonics, as in, cycles per second, which of hertz is cycles per second, and we get seconds from the Babylonian system that divides the days into sexagesimal or something, 60 divisions of 60, which I think Pythagoras extended it to 360, but I forget much of these details, and I might be misremembering it. And before I end this video, I just want to get back to this part, which do interval, one interval between do and re, and one interval between re and mi, 2 intervals between mi and so, and 4 intervals between so and do of the higher octave, which you don't really quite notice that if you just use the 7 keys with the octave added, but that's what it shows if you use the harmonic series. And that goes to show that there's a hidden octave base 2 system baked into Fibonacci systems. And if you didn't know that by now, I also represented it in this page here, but you have to really digest what's going on in here for yourself. But I'm not gonna get into that here, because this is more of a tangent to what I've been trying to convey here. And as a side note, if I were to review this book, it's 7 out of 10 actually, in terms of the things that I want to grasp from the general ideals. Even though most of it is right, it's not really polished well enough for me, which, fair enough, she's not a musicologist or anything like that. But she has provided some citations, and they're very well cited book. So in that citation wise, she's 10 out of 10. Good for her on that. Good on her, I mean. Let me get to there. These 2 books, the Pythagorean Plato by Ernest G. McLean and the Harmonic Origins of the World by Richard Heath. Those, I got that from her, and of course this part is also I got from her. However, this Atlantean just 5 limit intonation, this is not the same as hers in her book, but this is, I think, one of the Plutarch's, not Plutarch, Ptolemy's just intonations I've correctly put in here. And this book, the The Harmony of the Spheres by Jocelyn Godwin. Good book overall because it's a general outline of most of, if not all of the Platonic, Neoplatonic, post-Hellenic, Neoplatonic citations of the various theories on the celestial sphere and some tie-ins with musical theory, music theory and such, even into the medieval era. And I only put this here because we use divisions of a celestial system as a part of our music system, interval wise. So I've said enough. There's more to this than this, but my point is that there's a lot of interconnected parallels going on, and I keep repeating that word parallel because it's a very important concept that Thales have really emphasized on, which without parallelism there's really not even Platonism, but that's another discussion which John Gabriel gets into better. And before I end this video, going on an even further tangent than the main point of this video, let me see, come on, load. I'll just say that I am not saying that pi is a number or anything. No, it's not a number, it is a constant. Okay, all I'm showing in some parts of this video, I guess parts of this video, but in some parts of my book, is that there's a hidden, more fundamental geometric constant that is propping up the constant of phi. And that's it. That's really it. But people really don't get that, and it all goes over their head, and that's really unfortunate, really. But I'm not talking about the measure, but rather the parallels or deeper dependencies, you could say, that is interconnected with pi. So pi and phi are there. You cannot really break them apart. You'll get one from the other, and vice versa. And yeah, I guess that's it. See you guys next time, and hopefully I'll make more of these videos of rough speculations of things that I've yet to put into my book, or just other sort of stuff like musings of things that I have in mind. And if you got any questions, put them in the comments below. If you want me to make a video specifically on a specific question, do subscribe to my Patreon and subscribe to my YouTube too. Even if you don't want to pay for the Patreon subscription thing, it's fine. We're all broke these days, though I myself being more broke than you probably. But alright, see you guys later. Signing out. Bye.